You good? Hello to you on this day in February, National Heart Month. 1 John 4 tells us, whoever does not love does not know God, because God is love. Love comes from our heart. What an amazing organ God gave us. He created us with a heart. Every day our heart beats about 100,000 times, and it is sending 2,000 gallons of blood surging through our body. Now, our heart is no bigger than our fist. Imagine, that's as large as our heart is. What a mighty job of this heart, keeping the blood flowing through 60,000 miles of blood vessels through our body. Now, here's a real life story about our heart, the organ of our lives. Now, this story is about me. I walked into the doctor's office in February 4 years ago. February is National Heart Month. Well, I was in the doctor's office just for a daily routine physical checkup, and I was shocked when the doctor said to me, "I hear a heart murmur, and it's getting worse." Wow, you need that heart checked. It's not beating properly. Well, I had no idea what was going on because I felt perfectly fine. Unfortunately, I was asymptomatic. The doctor announced to me, "You need open heart surgery." Oh, wow. And you need it immediately. Wow. My heart valve had sprung a leak, and it was flowing the blood upward like a fountain rather than flowing through the vessels that it needed. It was going in the wrong direction, and that could not go on for long, or we would have some great problems. So I was told open heart surgery is the only way. So that's what I had to do. And after surgery, with lots of prayers, good surgeons, nurses, and doctors who were very nice and did their job, my heart was repaired, and I was on the road to recovery. Now, perhaps you might have a story of a broken heart. Not a broken heart physically like my broken heart, but maybe a broken heart spiritually. How can you go forth and love one another if you have failed to love someone from your heart in some other way? Well, you can love one another by living at peace with that person, and you can live at peace with others by not saying hateful comments or not looking for their trouble, not provoking them, and when offense arrives, ask them and see if you can make peace. I'd like to take a moment now and read a very short part of a little story about a family. And you can see, families need a lot of love. This comes from a short story book, just 3 minutes a day. This is just a little tiny piece of it. Mrs. Gallagher took her daughter to see a puppet show, and the MC handed the young girl a microphone, and he asked her, "What was your name?" And the little girl said, "Amanda," with a beautiful smile on her face. Now the mother got goosebumps. Well, she got goosebumps especially for a very special reason. 'Cause just 3 months ago, neither Amanda nor her mom would have even considered attending that puppet show. And the reason was neither of them would have been able to hear what they were saying. They may have seen the puppets moving, but they would not have been able to hear because both of them were profoundly deaf. But now, due to the good things that are happening in the health system, they had both been able to receive special implants in their ears, and this now allowed them to hear. And they could really enjoy together the puppet show, and they could go home to the father and the brother and tell them all about the puppet show. Oh, by the way, I'd like you to know the father also had not been able to hear anything until he too had had that implant when the mother and daughter did. But the 10-year-old brother, he had always been able to hear, but it was a difficult life for him because he was not able to speak naturally to his family so that they could hear. And now, rejoicing, everything that they all said together as a family was they were like a new reunited family because they could speak together with each other. Well, speaking of that puppet show, I would like you to know that I always enjoyed going to puppet shows with my family, and I enjoyed giving my family their own puppet shows. I liked puppetry when I was growing up. I did it as a kid. We used to make sock puppets and use the puppets, and we used to do puppets in school. And that led me to really enjoy puppetry. So I decided as a teacher I would get into puppetry so that that could be an interesting and exciting way for them to learn. So I'd like to share with you today one of the puppets that is my favorite puppet that has a message for you that goes along with this little uh, this little reflection that I'm giving you today about our heart. Here is one of my puppet friends has come along with me. So I'd like to introduce you to one of my favorite puppets. He has been a recent puppet to my collection. I got it Christmas time from one of the people at church. Deacon Don presented this puppet to me. Hi, my name is Jesus, of course. Well, Jesus is my puppet, and this is my ventriloquist puppet. I decided after using all kinds of hand puppets that I would like to get into the ventriloquist, and I started practicing ventriloquism. And here is Jesus. And Jesus has a message for you. So if you would listen very carefully, you might see this is probably if you're watching, this is probably all a child without her ears would have seen before. Just watch the mouth moving. But if you watch this mouth moving today, because as a ventriloquist, I'm allowed to turn this puppet into somebody who can speak and that you can hear, then here's Jesus with a message for you. Hi, let me tell you about your heart. I got something for you to listen to today. Here we go. Love one another. I said love one another. I said love one another as I have loved you. For this I want you to know to love one another wherever you go. Well, of course, Jesus, we know that we should love everybody all the time. Yes, we need to love everybody all the time. It's important. I say, love the Lord your God with all your heart and with all your soul, and love them with all your mind. Now, this is the first and the greatest commandment. And the second is like it. Love your neighbor as you love yourself. Well, my goodness, Jesus, what a message that has for us. I'm sure that that is so important to everyone who is listening to us today. Yes, indeed. Please love everybody. Love everybody as you go around this week. Think about how much their heart is filled with such joy as you showed the love for them. Oh, yes. So I ask you to remember that as Jesus had said, love is such an important thing. And our heart also is important. So especially this month of February, and of course, as the months pass on, take care of your heart. Be physically fit as well as being spiritually fit with that heart that we use all the time, physically and spiritually, as we move on to do all the work that we do each day, and as we pray and love each other, love your family, love your friends, and above all, you want to, Jesus has a message. He wants to give the last words. Love everybody, just everybody that you have all around you. Love, 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 love. Okay, we know. How do you spell love? Love, love. And God bless all of you and have a wonderful day and a wonderful week. Bye, everybody. See you again.